Matt and Brad here. So this past weekend I went and saw the new film. Actually it came out last week, but I didn't get around to seeing it till this week. Till tells the story of Emmett Till, the young African-American 14-year-old boy who in 1955 got lynched in Mississippi. He went to go see his cousins for a week, and only, I think, like 24 or 48 hours later, he ended up getting lynched by two white men, and it became this giant story back then. And this mainly tells the story of the mother, Mammy Till Bradley, bringing this to light, letting people know that this shouldn't happen. A 14-year-old boy has no reason to get killed, murdered, because he looked at a white woman, or said something to a white woman back then. So, getting into that, the main positive with this movie is the main actress, the mother, played by Danielle Detweiler. I brought her up in my review for From Scratch, the Netflix limited series. Here, she is dynamite. Right? I thought Ana de Armas from Blonde looked like she was going to be the main contender, the main front runner to win Best Actress this year for the Oscars. No. No offense to Ana de Armas, she did a great job as playing Marilyn Monroe, but Danielle Detweiler is the real deal. Pretty much a brand new actress. She did some TV stuff, but this isn't going to go down as her breakout role. And wow, what an entrance! I mean, she is a powerhouse in this movie. But the strength of an actress or an actor is not about, okay, they brought a lot of, they brought layers to a role, and, you get the humor, maybe the romance, maybe the drama, maybe the fear, the horror film. But you can tell an actress is a very good actor or actress by the confidence in the director. If a director is very confident in this actor or actress they are working with, you can tell on screen. And let me tell you something. This movie, I'm going to get into the cinematography in this movie, and that's why this is like a simpatico between actor and cinematographer, director combo, because this movie has a lot of long takes. This movie has a lot of shots that just go on. There's no cutting. There's no cut between one angle to another angle. There's no wide shot, then we cut to a close-up. It's all one shot. And that is how, for a director to truly believe in their actor or actress, that they can go for that long without cutting, is mind-blowing. The more mind-blowing part about this is Danielle Detweiler has so many scenes where they're long takes. Now, I'm not saying she's running through the field, it's not like this giant action scene all in one take, like we've seen in some movies like Atonement or 1917. No. But there are moments that you think to yourself, wow. To me, going in, not only that, to have so many different emotions throughout those scenes, in those moments, that it's all done in one shot, is just powerful. There is a scene, people, that when they put Mammy Till Bradley, Danielle Detweiler, on the stand in the courthouse to talk about her son and, everything like that. She goes on for over 7 to 8 minutes 7 to 8 minutes. That might mean longer than this review. Or this review might be just a tad bit longer than that. Where the camera never cuts. There's no cut to a different angle. It is all on her for 8 minutes straight of her talking and, reminiscing on memories, reminiscing on uncomfortable moments of when she saw the body of her son in the morgue, to just so many things that she does, and it's all in one take. And I'm watching this scene going, not only the cinematography is amazing, with this long shot, number one. Number two, you got an actress going 8 minutes with not stopping and no cutting. It's all done in one take, and you are getting so many different emotions. And not only that, but then when they don't even cut when the other, I don't know what it's called, I'm not a lawyer, go ask my sister, when the opposing people are questioning her. Normally in normal movies, courtroom scenes, they'll cut to the dude or the woman, giving the question. Where were you at this time? What were you doing? You know what I mean. They never cut. They keep it only on her. And this guy's firing questions left and right. And once again, he has to change. She continues to keep talking and her emotions. And I'm watching this scene going, that's the Oscar scene right there. That is the scene that will get this actress most likely the Oscar. No doubt about it. No question. Daniel Detweiler is this movie. 100%. But that's not all. The cinematography. The way this movie has so many scenes that are all done in one take is mesmerizing to watch. Because it makes you feel like it doesn't feel like a movie. A movie, when you have so many cuts in a movie, it feels like a movie. But when you have scenes that are just all done in one shot, it doesn't feel like a movie. It feel like you're watching real people. And there's just a camera somewhere hidden. They don't even know that there's a camera there. And it's so powerful. It sucks you in. It's really a story like this that is so powerful and emotional and heart-wrenching and just can't believe it actually happened in real life. So the decision on the director to have so many scenes in this movie be done in one shot, in one take, and that could mean two people on a porch. One is sitting, one is standing, and they just focus on one, and they just have a conversation. Or there's a great scene of Mammy Bradley going to see her uncle or cousin, and he's at this little pond outside. There's a tree, grass. He's more in the foreground on a bench. She's over here in the the background, and you got the pond in the background even more, and a little bit further back. And the way it just composition-wise, and it's all done in one shot, it's just great compositions. And then the colors in 1955. So you got a lot of color back then. The wardrobe they wore, yellow, blues. Then you mix that with the scenery, the landscaping. It's beautifully shot compositions. Then you add the long tracking shots, or the long shots without any takes, without any cuts. And I'm telling you, as a filmmaker, if you're trying to study cinematography, I would highly, this isn't your action movie, where yes, those moments in movies, like Atonement, like 1917, even in some of the Bond movies, where they have long tracking shots and the action still going on. it is truly mesmerizing to watch. Because like I said, it sucks you in, and it doesn't let go. Some other supporting characters, Whoopi Goldberg. Yes, not Whoopi Goldberg. I know she's on The View, and people don't like her on The View, but there was a time, people, a time in the late 80s and 90s where Whoopi Goldberg was one of the most talented actresses, from The Color Purple to Ghost with Patrick Swayze and Demi Moore, where she won her Best Supporting Actress Academy Award. Here she plays the grandmother and the mother to Mammy, or Danielle Detweiler's character. And even though she's not in that movie that much, well, let me tell you something. She was excellent in the scenes that she was in. I sometimes forgot, oh yeah, that's Whoopi Goldberg, because she just embodied the character. And like I you have so many shots and scenes where it's all done in one take. It feels like you're watching this real family going through all this. Another actor here, sorry I don't know his name, John Douglas Thomas. He plays either, I think he's the uncle or the cousin to Mammy. He's the one that brings Emmett Till to Mississippi to meet his kids. So Emmett's cousins. So I guess he would be the uncle or the brother. Anyway, he has some really great moments. One, like I said, the one by the pond, where he truly breaks down. I'm sorry, I didn't, you left your son in my care, and I ended up giving him to the wolves, these two white men. But, I had no choice. It was either he'd take Emmett, or he was pointing a gun at my children, and I had to choose my kids or your kid. And it's a really powerful scene that he gives. And I was like, wow, that's another, whoa, Best Supporting Actor nomination right there. So I thought he did a really good job and he's not in the movie that much, but when he is, like I said, he has some very powerful moments. Or when he's on the witness stand, that's another great moment for him. The other thing that works in this movie is the pacing. For a 2-hour and 10-minute movie, I was so locked into the story that I couldn't believe that over 2 hours passed. So, pacing, and the final thing that's a positive in this movie is uncomfortable. And that is a positive. Because a movie like this, you want to feel uncomfortable. You don't want to feel like, whatever. That happened to him. Who cares? No, even as a white person here, I was uncomfortable sitting in that theater. Because I'm like, And let me tell you, the uncomfortableness, I've seen a lot of horror movies. You don't see it in the trailers. Because in the trailer would be rated R. Or Red Man trailer. When you do see the body of Emmett Till after what happened to him, you see it in the morgue, and then you see it at the funeral, because they have an open casket. And let me tell you, people, the stuff of nightmares. And this is a realistic look, which is even scarier to all even I was like, whoa. I gotta give the makeup people props, major, because, oh my, what that body looked like was truly something out of a horror. In fact, horror couldn't even get it that realistic. I mean, and this is someone who's seen my own friend in a casket, and seeing his body in a casket, and that was just a whole other thing for me. But to see this body, this face, this whole, it's truly the stuff of nightmares. And it makes you feel uncomfortable. In fact, when people were going to the funeral and they came up on the casket, you saw their expression on their faces. And a lot of them were horrified. It's horror-inducing what you see. And like I said, I gotta give them props for going that far and going that realistic and not, compromise, not trying to be like, no, we won't show it that much. We only show it once and that's it. No, they're like, we want to make these people understand what happened and how and what they did. And wow, that's all I gotta say. My only negative with this movie is we don't see Emmett Till, the boy, that much. Like I said, we see him in the first 10 or 15 minutes, and that's it. And for me, like I said, I'm not judging the kid, but it's not about the kid's behavior or the kid as a person. The real problem is what these people did to him. But as a film, I wanna like the kid. You know what I mean? I wanna feel like, yeah, what that kid went through was horrible. He was a great kid. He was a nice kid. He was very nice to people. And in my opinion, based on the film, I do not think we got that. What we see of Emmett Till in the first, he's not a bad kid. It's just certain things he does is like, even I wouldn't do that. Or even most people wouldn't whistle at a girl. That's inappropriate. You know what I mean? Or if you go to help your family do something and you refuse to help at all, that's like, that, to me, that says, maybe you're not that good of a person, but we're being shoved throughout the movie. Oh, my boy was a great boy. My boy was one of the best boys ever. He would never do this or that. And like I said, it's not about what happened to him is awful. But I would have liked some flashbacks, even, to show some moments of him being, show the full representation of Emmett Till. Don't just show those moments where some people might say, he doesn't seem that great of a guy, based on what you're showing in the movie. So, and once again, not that he deserved what he got, but if we're gonna keep hammering, by the mother saying, oh, he was a great boy, he was a great boy, he was a great boy, show some of that. And really that's my only negative. I would give this movie a 4.9 out of 5. Very good movie. Phenomenal performance by Daniel Detweiler. I'm telling you right now, for me, she is the front runner for Best Actress. I know Kate Blanchett is getting a lot of acclaim for her movie Tar. Can't talk Tar. And obviously Ana de Armas from Blonde. But for me right now, until I see Kate Blanchett, because I've already seen Ana de Armas, Daniel Detweiler gets my vote. So like I said, 4.9 out of 5. This movie is like a great shot film, great acting, uncomfortable throughout the whole movie. So I do highly recommend it, whether you watch it in theaters or wait till it finally comes on streaming. But see it before the Oscars, because I'm telling you, she is going to be nominated. And probably maybe even the cinematography. So, Matt here, let me know, did you see this movie? If you want to get a conversation going about not only the movie, but just in general. Because this is a topic to really talk about, not just as a filmmaker or film, but as, overall life stuff. Let me know in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.